जय कुंज बिहारी जय जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय जय यशोदनंदन जय व्रज जनरंजन जय व्रज जनरंजन जय जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय जय यमुना तीरावनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय यमुना जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय जय यशोदनंदन जय व्रज जनरंजन जय व्रज जनरंजन जय जय यमुनतीरवनचारी जय कुंज विहारी जय जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी जय जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय श्री श्री राधा माधव की जय श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की जय श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय श्री गुरुदेव की जय ग्रंथराज श्री श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि 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 बोल Hare Krishna. So nice to see you all. So you will have this verse 313, 413, 49 and then we will follow it up with 414.1 because this particular verse does not have a purport. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati uttama shloke Bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. So we will read this verse once and then we will take the next verse and repeat all of us. Alakshayantaha padavim prajapater Hatodhyama pratyupasrutyate purim Rishin sametan abhivandya sashravo Nyavedayan paurava bhartru viplavam. When the citizens could not find any trace of the king after searching for him everywhere, they were very disappointed and they returned to the city where all the great sages of the country assembled because of the king's absence. With tears in their eyes, the citizens offered respectful obeisances and informed the sages in full detail that they were unable to find the king anywhere. Now we are going to chapter 14, verse number 1. This we will read the word to word and purport. Maitreya Uvacha Brigvadayaste Munayo Lokanam Kshema Darshinaha Goptaryasati Vainrunam Pashyantah Pashu Samyatam. Maitreya Uvacha Brigvadayaste Munayo Lokanam Kshema Darshinaha Goptaryasati Vainrunam Pashyantah Pashu Samyatam. Maitreya Uvacha Mrugvadayaste Munayo Lokanam Khema Darshinaha Goptar Yasati Vaindranam Pashyantah Pashu Samyatam Maitreya Uvacha Brigvadayaste Munayo Lokanam Kshema Darshinaha Goptar Yasati Vaindranam Pashyantah Pashu Samyatam Maitreya Uvacha Brigvadayaste Munayo Lokanam Kshema Darshinaha Goptar Yasati Vaindranam Pashyantah Pashu Samyatam. Yes. Maitreya Uvacha. The great sage Maitreya continued. Brigvadayaha, headed by Bhrigu. Te, all of them. Munayaha, the great sages. Lokanam, of the people. Kshema Darshinaha, who always aspire for the welfare. Goptari, the king. Asati, being absent. Why? Certainly, Nrunam, of all the citizens. Pashyantaha, having understood. Pashusamyatam, existence on the level of the animals. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Channaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Please repeat. The great sage Maitreya continued. O great hero Vidura, the great sages headed by Bhrigu were always thinking of the welfare of the people in general. When they saw that in the absence of King Ganga, there was no one to protect the interests of the people, they understood that without a ruler, the people would become independent and non-regulated. Purport, please say, Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki Jai, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki Jai, Shri Gaurnitai ki Jai. Purport. In this verse, the significant word is Kshema Darshinaha, which refers to those who are always looking after the welfare of the people in general. All the great sages, headed by Bhrigu, were always thinking of how to elevate all the people of the universe to the spiritual platform. Indeed, they advised the kings of every planet to rule the people with the ultimate goal of life in mind. The great sages used to advise the head of the state or the king, and he used to rule the populace in accordance with their instruction. After the disappearance of King Anga, there was no one to follow the instructions of the great sages. Consequently, all the citizens became unruly, so much so that they could be compared to animals. As described in Bhagavad Gita 4.13, human society must be divided into 4 orders according to quality and work. In every society, there must be an intelligent class, administrative class, productive class, and worker class. In modern democracy, these scientific divisions are turned topsy-turvy, and by vote, Shudras or workers are chosen for administrative posts. Having no knowledge of the ultimate goal of life, such persons whimsically enact laws without knowledge of life's purpose. The result is that no one is happy. Jai Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Purport ki. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanasute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyamishwaram Namo Vishnupada Krishna Prabhu Shrimate Mahavishnu Goswami Namo Vishnupada Krishna Prabhu Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamani Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarani Hare Krishna Prabhu Smataji Dandavat Pranam. So nice to be in all your association. Very nice morning. Always morning is the best time to do devotional service, especially we start off with Mangalarti, all the way up to Bhagavatam and then Prasadam. The whole day stays Mangal, When we start off with Mangalarti, the whole day stays Mangal. When Mangalarti is not there, it becomes Amangal. We may get some prosperity, all that, whatever we may get, name, fame, whatever, but they are all like Mandanam Lokaranjanam, just decorating the dead body. This is really life. As Dhruva says, that Sanjivayati Akhila Shakti Dharasva Dhamna. Sanjivayati means you rejuvenate. You rejuvenate. That is actually rejuvenate. Enliven, bring that they change I to you. And so that we forget our roots, So rejuvenate. We are all, why it is rejuvenate? Because we are eternally jivas. Temporarily we have forgotten our constitutional position. So rejuvenate. So it's packed, unpacked and to repack. Right? So it's already packed, it was unpacked, so we are repacking it. Similarly, we were already jivan and we forgot. And we are continuously we are in the Maya's lap. So when we do these morning programs and seva, everything, then it actually re-enlivens, it brings life back which was originally there. That's a Cheto Darpana Marjanam also we say. So here, this is so beautiful shloka, because each shloka in Bhagavatam, some message or other it will give. As we heard from our spiritual master always, he would say that every verse has a purpose, every chapter has a purpose, every canto has a purpose, and whole Bhagavatam has a purpose. So we, delve deeper and deeper into the slokas, we will get the real purpose behind each one of them. What is that it is giving? The main thing, that message that it's trying to give, the message that it's trying to give. Because in this particular section, if you see Prabhu's, it's not very palatable thing that Anga is a very nice king. He is a very sane king. But you see in his life how things changed. He was such a powerful king, very saintly king, Raja Rishi. But unfortunately he didn't have an issue. So somebody to take over from him was not there. So he tried his best to get his sages and all to, do yajna, and so that he can get the benediction of a son. They tried their best. They were also pure at heart, but somehow it didn't happen. This is how many times in our devotional life or even in our maintenance life, we will see that with the best of our efforts, things may not happen as per our wish. We have to accept, sometimes things which are not palatable. It's very beautifully said in our Shastras, Yad bhavi tad bhavati eva. You can repeat this very beautiful verse. Yad bhavi tad bhavati eva. Yad abhavyam na tad bhavet. Iti nishchit. Little louder. Iti nishchit. Buddhinam chinta na badate kvachit. See, yad bhavi tad bhavati eva. What is supposed to happen will definitely happen. Yad abhavyam na tad bhavet. That which is not supposed to happen will definitely not happen. Even if you hang upside down and drink water. Iti nishchit buddhinam. If our buddhi is fixed in this, accepting this particular thing, chinta na badate kvachit. Even the chinta, the worries will not touch him even a bit. This is how we should not, devotees don't worry. When one boy came to Prabhupada and asked, Prabhupada, I want to take initiation from you. What are the conditions? He said only one thing. He said, only one condition. He didn't tell all the 4 regulative principles. Only one condition. What? From today you stop worrying. Then I will initiate you. No? The worry is what is stopping us from smiling, Prabhus. Really, devotees means we should smile. Isn't it? Krishna is so nice, beautifully smiling. A thief comes, he smiles. Politician comes, he smiles. Policeman comes, he smiles. Anybody, big celebrities come, he smiles. Poor man comes also, he smiles. Right? His smile is so beautiful that actually devotees don't want anything other than the smile of the Lord. That's all. There is a beautiful verse. If you go into that purport, that verse, then we will spend the whole day on that one verse only. So I don't want you to get caught up and forget your prasadam and all. I will give you the number only. You just note down and read it during the day. If you have time, you read it during the day. If you don't have time, make time and read it during the day. Such a powerful verse, 3:8:27. Note it down for your own personal reading. If you simply read that verse, then you will see what is the essence of devotional service. What are we, as devotees, what are we supposed to do? That which is missing in us, Prabhupada is telling us this is what you should have. I will not tell you what is missing in us, but you read that and you find it out yourself. Such a beautiful verse. Each verse is like this. Gem of verses are there. Only thing is we have to appreciate it first of all. When Prabhupada came, how he was writing all these purports. See, these purports he was not writing in an AC room, sitting in a nice comfortable bed or whatever. He was sitting at night, 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, he was sitting and writing these purports. Why would he do that? Because he was Ksemadarshi. Like here, the rishis are mentioned as Ksemadarshi, who always aspire for the welfare. When we aspire for others' welfare, the first thing that we will do is that we will rearrange our priorities in such a way that others' priorities become our priority. You got the point? It's a very important thing to note. If somebody comes here and I am busy chanting, somebody comes here, Prabhu, I really need, I'm in urgent need of some help. Can you please help me? Somebody is looking for some prasadam or some thing, Ganga Jal or something they are asking for, somebody is really serious. Then I can't tell him that, hey, no, I have to chant my rounds. Come on, you don't bother me. That is not devotional service. Devotional service is you rearrange your priorities in such a way that others' priority become your priority. Others will have some priorities. They will be really in need of something. We need to help them. So, how do we do that? I am not going to lower my priority. There is a difference between rearranging and lowering. If I say, okay, I will chant in the middle of the night. When all the ghosts are there, I have to purify the ghosts. So, night 12 o'clock, I will do my chanting. That doesn't work. They will all become devotees, but we will become ghosts. And then they have to chant for us to become human beings. So, that's always chanting, that's done in the morning. Early morning, 4:30, 5 o'clock, nobody is going to come and ask for your SOS, right? This is SOS they call. SOS, they call it as SOS call, no? Save our souls. Real urgent calls, emergency calls. hardly anybody would come during that time to ask for any help. So if we do our chanting, give first priority to chanting, then easy to arrange all the other priorities of ours to according to others' priorities. When you go out on book distribution, you may have a certain, say 8 o'clock I have to close the shop, close the thing, I have to go to a service. Right at 8 o'clock somebody will come, I was looking for this so-and-so verse, so-and-so book. Will you say, no, 8 o'clock closed, you come tomorrow? We make others priority as, he is coming and asking for something urgent. Okay, let me give it to him. Right? Or somebody asks for Japmala. We give those things. So that is how, even though it may not, sometimes this is only from a spiritual point of view, but sometimes somebody will need some help, which may not be even directly connected to the spiritual things. But when we consider those souls, as part and parcel of Krishna, Mamayamsa Jiva Loke, then what we will do, we will meditate on Krishna and give them whatever little wisdom that we can give, so that in the future they may become devotees, or they may take to Krishna consciousness seriously. Everybody is a devotee, just that we have to make them realize it, or we have to realize it, that they are all devotees. So this point is very important. Kshema Darshinaha, Kshema Darshi. These sages, they were Kshema Darshis. See, there are some very, very important points to note in the purport as well as the word for word. You see how Prabhupada has so beautifully distributed his nectar across word for word, translation and purport. See, this Goptari word is referred as the king in the word for word equivalents, if you look at it. Who is operating that one? Please, if you can, we may refer to some slokas and all, So this Goptari is referred to as king. But actually, this Goptari actually means protection. Goptrutve varnam tava, we say that in one of the slokas, right? So means we are shelter basically, protection, shelter. So in the translation you see what Prabhupada is telling there. In the absence of King Anga, there was no one to protect the interests of the people. Very, very interesting word, the phrase. Goptari, Prabhupada only put king in the word for word equivalents, but in the translation he is expanding it further. This is how we have to connect the word for word, translation and purport. In purport he will tell something more. These kind of scriptures, I can tell you 200% surety that in all the three worlds you will not get it. Even in Golakam I don't think you will get these purports. With all due respect. There it is all seva, they may do, I don't know. They may have something more, but this kind of a transcendental purports of Srila Prabhupada you will not get anywhere else in any other books. And that too, especially in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Please keep this close to your heart, Prabhus. It's not something that, so many people are there in this world, in this particular city. Forget about the whole of Hyderabad. Even, what is this place called? Nampalli or Kachaguda? Abbots, it's all nearby, Abbots. How many lakhs of people are there? But how many are actually here? This is not a discouraging statement, this is the most encouraging part. Why? Because we are the very, very selected few from Krishna. Krishna has selected out of so many lakhs of people, only these people are Manushyanam Sakaseshu Kasyid Yatate Siddhaye. So we have to be even more careful in taking the process more seriously. We should not be discouraged that, only 15 people are there out of so many people. We are telling they are not coming. This is nothing to worry. Telling is our problem. Bringing is Krishna's problem. We are not worried about Krishna's problem. We are only worried about our problem. You see, King Anga, there was no one to protect, in the absence of King Anga, there was no one to protect the interests of the people. No one to protect the interests. So, someone who is in a leader position, king means only not the one with the crown or whatever. Everybody who is a politician, he may be a policeman, he may be a leader, he may be a celebrity, whatever it may be. They should protect the interest of the people. Goptrutve. The interests of the people means they may have some interest in their mind, but that may not be the actual interest of the soul. The real interest is to become Gopi Bhartrupada Kamalayo Dasa Danasanu Dasa. They may not be aware of it. It is the duty of the king or the leader to somehow or other adjust their interest in such a way that it becomes aligned with Krishna's interest. That is the trick. That is the real trick. We are all doing so many things. We are just doing, what are you doing? When they come, hey, please take prasadam. Their interest is to eat food. Their interest is not to take prasadam. Right? But what are we doing? We are doing, fulfilling their interest through the prasadam. Their stomach is also fulfilled, and their spiritual journey also starts. They all have this eagerness to read something. You see, when they go in the train station, no, they have all these small novel books and all they keep selling in the station, or in the train also people will just go 10 rupees, 20 rupees, they'll just distribute. So people immediately buy. You know why? Because 6 hours, 10 hours of journey, they will feel very bored. They are not so busy like us. For us, there is no time to feel bored. we don't have time to think that we have time. We have to waste time. We have our japmala, we have so much of scriptures with us. We can do so many things in that, even 40 hours train journey, we can sit and do so much of reading. But for them, they don't have this fortune. Right? So what do? They have a penchant to read something. They will read some newspaper. They will be so bored that, normally people don't read previous week's newspaper or previous day's newspaper. But when you see they go on the train, if they are so bored that even if you give them yesterday's newspaper, they will sit and read. What a waste of time, See, that is why today's newspaper becomes tomorrow's waste paper. Isn't it? When it goes to that paper mart, that guy's shop, you don't call it as newspaper mart, you call it waste paper mart. Don't you say so? So it is only waste paper. Kachada hai it is. They are so much attracted to this kachada, cow, Vayasam Tirtham. They are all pilgrimage for crows. This is where Prabhupada says so beautifully. Where is this noise coming from? Oh, it is nothing, no? Okay. I thought it is coming from the mic. So in the 1:5:10, in the purport, Prabhupada says so beautifully, such spiritually enlightened persons are also called manasa, who keep up the standard of transcendental voluntary service on the spiritual plane. On the spiritual plane to please the Lord or something like that. But this 5 words phrase is very beautiful. Manasa. We are all manasa. Manasa means like those who take only the essence and then leave the rest. Right? Only then we can be Ksemadarshi. See what they do? They keep up the standard of transcendental voluntary service on the spiritual plane. Beautiful phrase. I don't know where Prabhupada got this from. Definitely Krishna has supplied all this knowledge. See, break it into pieces and try to understand. You will relish it very much. Simply you take the word service alone. If you take one word out of this, whole meaning will go lost. See, service. Everybody says, I am doing service, I am doing service. But everything is motivated service. If you give, they do service for remuneration, but still they call it service. If you don't give money, they will not do the service. That is actually not seva. Right? So that is simply, if you simply use the word service, it is only service. Then you can add voluntary to it, voluntary service. When you say voluntary service, then what happens? It is a little bit better. People are voluntarily coming and asking, can I do some seva? But again, this also, they will do voluntary service, but they will still be in the material modes, Rajoguna and Tamaguna. They will do voluntary service, but they will have some eagerness for name and fame, something for their own society or community, whatever. So it's all very narrow-minded. So even in voluntary service, there is a defect. They are caught by the 3 modes. Tribir gunamayair bhavaihi yebihi sarvam idam jagat mohitam nabi janati mamebhya paramavyayam. This is 7.13. This sloka tells the problem. Krishna is telling the problem in this sloka. Tribir gunamayair bhavair. Tribir guna. 3 guna. Gunamay, fully absorbed in the 3 modes only. Bhavaihi. Their bhava is full with the gunas. Yebihi sarvam idam jagat. This whole jagat is moving by these 3 gunas, occupied by these 3 gunas. Mohitam, they are mohitam. Na abhijanati, they don't know me. I am above the three modes. Avyayam. Mamebhya param avyayam. I am above the three modes. They are caught up in the three modes. So they are not able to know me. So Krishna tells a problem statement here. Now where to find the solution? Nowhere to go. Same place. Bhagavad Gita itself you find the solution. Just double the verse number, you get the solution. 7.13, you double it, what you get? 14/26. What is that sloka? Mam chayo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samati ityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. How do you do sagunan samati ityaitan? When you do avyabhichari bhakti. You are caught up in this thing. So solution is there in Bhagavad Gita itself. Easy to remember. 7.13 is problem, 14.26 is solution. Tell this way. This is how scrutinizing study helps, This is my spiritual master gave this very nice point. Very easy to remember. Problem is also there, solution is also there. So, transcendental voluntary service. Transcendental voluntary service, avyabhichari bhakti. Get it? So, this avyabhichari bhakti when we do, then we are above the modes. We do the service above the modes. In other words, you give some book to somebody, they will shout at you, scream at you, but you don't get affected by it. In Los Angeles, our temple, our New Dwarka temple now, there the Rath Yatra is very famous. Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, the three separate Raths will be there. They go along that Venice Beach, Boulevard, they go, it's so beautiful Rath Yatra. So, but what happens in the morning, the temple president is Grace Swavas Prabhu, is managing for so many years. So, he would make an announcement, what all things we have to do, what all things we have to avoid, like that. So he said a nice statement, when you are going chanting in the kirtans, there will be some Jesus Christ followers. They will hold a board that Jesus is Lord, Krishna is demon, Jesus is Lord, Krishna is demon. Like that they will have a board and they will have a speaker and they will keep shouting. This they do every year. So he will tell that, they will keep shouting like that. Don't unnecessarily spend time talking to them. Just smile at them, chant Hare Krishna and keep moving. If you get into them, they will unnecessarily will get into some mess. Then he said something very interesting. He said that actually they are better devotees than us. Because we come only once in a few years for Rath Yatra. But they are there every year without fail taking darshan of Jagannath. They are shouting Jesus Christ is Lord, Jesus Christ is Lord, but they have never in 30, 40 years they have missed Rath Yatra. So they were they know the importance of Jagannath. This year is where the real essence is. So I mean to say, we were saying, it's a very nice point. We could see even devotion in them also. They may be covered devotees, who knows. They are more dedicated than us. We have to hanker, like how Kamsa was thinking of Krishna 24 hours. Narad Muni is telling, it is more difficult to do devotional service like Kamsa and Hiranyakashipu. It is much easier to do devotional service like me. He is telling, it's so very difficult to Nafrat Karna, it's very difficult. So, this transcendental voluntary service. Our service has to be really transcendental. So we go and get into a mess with them. We are not transcendental, we are in the gunas. When they are shouting and screaming, we just smile at them and we go. Then we are safe. We are in the transcendental plane. This another interesting thing that Kavichandra Maharaj was telling. His Holiness Kavichandra Maharaj was telling. It said they went to Dallas. In Dallas, they were doing Nagar Sankirtan, Nam Sankirtan. So there, some Jesus followers are silently distributing some pamphlets. Few times Maharaj kind of denied, but they forcefully pushed it into him. So he just put it in his pocket. And after the Sankirtan was over, he got into the car and he wanted to see what is there in the card, So when he took the card out and he started reading, Jesus is Lord and Christianity is truth or something. And then Hindus can't save you, Buddhists can't save you, Jains can't save you, not even the Hare Krishnas. So they think not even the Hare Krishnas can save you. So they classify as separate, We are separate, for them. So see the impact it has. It is not joke that we are telling, it's reality. Thing is, they all are afraid because the potency is so much, the holy name's potency is so much that they are afraid that their movement is at stake. So this transcendental voluntary service, because we are doing transcendental voluntary service, it has its impact on even the most demoniac people. This you should understand. And then we maintain the standard of transcendental voluntary service. Now this is not like I am doing one day transcendental voluntary service, another day guna voluntary service. No. The standard has to be kept always. There is a standard that Prabhupada maintained. So when we maintain that standard, then it becomes standard of transcendental voluntary service. Again, this is not enough. On the spiritual plane, we should be on the spiritual plane. Our star has to be Adhyatmic star. Only then the message will go through. If I am inside the gunas, if I am thinking I am feeling hungry, or I am not getting, somebody is not putting garland for me, somebody is not giving me attention, these are all gunas. I should be completely absorbed in these scriptures. Genuinely, if I am absorbed only, I can help others. So this Ksemadarshi, one word, see how much it is giving to us, Prabhus. It is such an important word. Those who are always looking after the welfare of the people in general, to such an extent that the other people may not be interested or to know that you are looking after their welfare. Still you have to take care of their welfare. That is what these sages, how much they were feeling for the general mass didn't know that somebody is thinking for us. When the sages in the Naimisharanya were doing the thing for 88,000 rishis, they were doing the yajna for 1,000 years. Who were thinking about these sages? Somebody is doing some katha. Here also, people on the street or outside somewhere, they may not even know, oh, this Hare Krishnas, they will do something in the morning. But they don't understand this is for their kshema. Jagat pavitram pragranita karhichit. This katha, Krishna katha, holy names of Krishna, this purifies the whole, sanctifies the atmosphere of the whole universe. That is why there is, still they are thinking about Third World War, it is not coming. Otherwise, if not Prabhupada started this movement, it would have come long back. All the other problems are happening, but they are not making it a big mass of problem, isn't it? It's because of the standard of transcendental voluntary service on the spiritual plane. This kshema. We have to think of other kshema not with the expectation or motivation that, oh, they should appreciate me, they should understand the sacrifice that I am making. This is all, first of all, we should not even think that we are making a sacrifice. What sacrifice did you do? What sacrifice did you do in comparison to what Prabhupada did? Can we sit at 1 o'clock and write something? We can sit at night 1 o'clock and do our japa maybe, but not like this. And see how beautiful words that Prabhupada has given. In this sea was no one to protect the interests of the people. We are protecting the interests of the people. Corona people were dying. Did we not go and help? Did we not go and give prasadam to people? We were. We did the most in our Delhi and Uttar Pradesh and our Maharashtra and our Andhra Pradesh, everywhere. The people in the ruling parties or the people who are in the management or administration, they were appreciative of the sevas that we did. And we were not looking for any advertisement or glorification. Silently did the service and come out. Because the moment we start looking for glorification, appreciation, Triguna, Tribir Guna Mayar Bhavai, we will get into the modes. You see, this is how Bhagavatam is so amazing, fully filled with transcendental pastimes of great, glorious Mahatmas who didn't care for themselves but made others' priorities as their priorities. Parikshit Maharaj, he was dying. He could have easily said that I am dying, I don't want to do anything. No, I just want to enjoy my last 7 days in this life. He didn't do. What did he do? He thought took others' priorities as his priority and reprioritized his priority of administrating the kingdom. That was his primary priority. Primary responsibility is to manage the whole thing, kingdom. What did he do? Immediately he gave it to his son. And then what did he do? He went retired to show by example that what one has to do. Anga also, he is not escaping. He left because he couldn't do the... See, there's a beautiful thing that my spiritual master always used to tell us something, that if possible you do. If you can't do, move out and make space for some other one to come and take it. That is what we are not able to do. We are not able to leave the chair. Even if all the 4 legs are taken out, he will be sitting in the chair. That should not be the case. I mean, time is over, I have to get out of the Vyasasana. Otherwise, somebody will take me along with the Vyasasana and put me somewhere. Prabhu, we have to clean this place, please get up. No, I won't get from here. People, please get up, Prabhu, we have to clean this place. We have other programs. No, I won't get up. Then we have no options, Prabhu, we have to take you forcefully and put you somewhere. You see, this is how Parikshit Maharaj showed us by practice. Anga showed us by practice that what to do. Both Anga Maharaj and the Rishis, they are showing us what is the essence of devotional service in this. Please take these lessons from them. Sages were doing the service without even the citizens knowing what the great seva that they are doing. Anga is doing a service that now I have to make way. I am not able to do, I can't do anything to this person. I can't sit and watch the whole thing getting ruined and being helplessly sitting there like Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra is the worst example of the opposite category. He was sitting, holding his chair so much. Even after his sons were gone, still he is holding his chair tightly. Vidura had to come and tell him in point blank, black and white, he had to tell him, you are such a rascal that you killed all of them and you are living at the with the help of the same person whom you wanted to kill. He literally fired him so much left, right and center, the last bana, because Viduraji, Yamaraj came as Vidurji. There though in our Narak Loka he can't make anybody devotee. All chopping, boiling, frying, all those things only he can do. He also needs some preaching seva. So he got this opportunity by the grace of Manduka Rishi to come down as a Sudra's thing. So he got one chance to make a life member in his life. Whole lifetime he is preaching to this Dhritarashtra. Doesn't become a devotee. This side, yes. Outside he goes and then does all sense gratification. That is with Duryodhana. So he left the place when the Kurukshetra happened. He said, I am not purified enough. Let me go and purify myself. That was his humility. And then he came back. I am not going to go back without getting this person out of his chair. So finally he took him out of the chair. Why I am saying this point we are saying is that Kshemadarshi. Dhritarashtra didn't know his own Kshema. But Vidura knew his Kshema. He tried all ways and means it didn't work. Then finally our ISKCON bullet will work. Like that. We try all our ways. Nothing works. Give ISKCON bullet to people. Prasadam. That's the best way to work. Dhritarashtra, he had to be given that the final injection. And then he left. So this point is very, very important. So Parikshit Maharaj, this one shloka we will learn how Parikshit Maharaj did this Kshemadarshi word and Goptari, both how he did. In one shloka it is there, this 1:4:12. Otherwise it's the existence of the level of the animal, Pasu Shamyatam. So they have the responsibility to take us out of that gutter and put us in the topmost level of transcendental voluntary service on the spiritual plane. So let's read this 1:4:12. If you can bring it up there, Prabhu. 1:4:12. This is an amazing verse, most amazing verse, which is a question, but it answers lots of questions. It's a question by the sages at Naimisharanya to Suta Goswami, but it gives so much answer to many of our other questions. Please repeat this shloka, it's a beautiful shloka. Shivaya lokasya Bhavaya bhutaye Yavuttama shloka Parayana jana Jivanti natmartham Asau parashrayam Mumocha nirvidya Kutah kalevaram. Such a beautiful verse. This is the best verse for Kshemadarshi and Goptari. If these two words, if you want to identify how to do Kshemadarshi and how to do Goptari, this one verse is enough. You can just meditate on this verse the whole day and you will get more and more swad, taste, ruchi to, Shivaya lokasya bhavaya bhutaye. Means, what are the things that they are worried about? They are always thinking about the auspiciousness for everybody. Lokasya, all the lokas, everybody, all the people, all the living entities. Loka is not only people, all the living entities. And bhavaya bhutaye, so that they are economically flourish. They become nice in their, in their economy wise and financially, they are mentally, they are everything wise, they are very and healthy. So who are these people? Yeah, Uttama Shloka Parayana Janaha. Those people who are always after Uttama Shloka Parayana, those are always after glorifying Krishna, their only job is to think of others' welfare. Ksemadarshi aa gaya? We got the Ksemadarshi. You are always worried about the Kshema for others. Now comes the very, very beautiful line, most important line. Jivanti na atmartham asau parashrayam. Jivanti. Jivanti means they live. Na atmartham. Their life is not meant for their own welfare. I want to fulfill my this desire, my that desire. I want this, I want that. No, they don't live for that. They are talking about Parikshit Maharaj. Why Parikshit Maharaj decided to leave his body even though he had the power to counteract that curse? That's the question. And he was very young. He was managing the whole kingdom so perfectly. The whole world was so nicely enriched in Krishna consciousness. So why would he live in the middle of nowhere? He could have lived for another 100 years and made more people into devotees of Krishna, bring them to Krishna consciousness. He didn't do that. You see, this is a very, very beautiful point to note. Jivanti na atmartham. Not for their own, they don't live for their own well-being. Asau para ashrayam means very beautiful. Their body is the ashraya for others. They are willing to give their own body for others' welfare. Like the Shibi, he gave these parts of the body, King Shibi, cutting it for the bird's thing to save the bird. Like that, they are willing to even sacrifice their own body, which is most dear to us. That also they are willing to sacrifice. So why did he satisfy which is so dear to us, so dear to him? Jivanti na atmartham. Already they are selfless people. Their body also they are sacrificing it for others. Still, why did he could have, their body is a shelter for others. When it is a shelter for something, why is he breaking that shelter? You see, beautiful question is it. These kind of questions, this is why Bhagavatam is transcendental. And it gives so much more nourishment to understand this point. Why he gave up this body? Jivanti na atmartham asau parashrayam. Already he is a devotee. He is not living for his own sense gratification. Why he should give up the body which he could have survived for another 100 more years? Mumocha nirvidya kutah kalevaram. Mumocha, why did he give up? It was not taken away. There is a difference between being taken away and giving it up. Our bodies are all taken away. We can't, no, I have the control over body. No. Bhishma Deva body was not taken away. He gave it up. He was, hinomi aham, I am giving it up. Like that, they have the control of the body also. So why did Parikshit Maharaj give up the body? Why did he not counteract? Right? So they are asking, Kutah Kalevaram. Why did he give? The answer is given by Sukadeva Goswami in 1:18:7. Nanu dveshti kalim samrat saranga iva sarabhuk kushalani ashu siddhyanti netarani kritani yat. Beautiful verse. Nanu dveshti kalim samrat. Now, the precarious situation is that if Parikshit Maharaj is leaving, Kali is coming. Kali is coming. That's what is going to happen, because after Parikshit Maharaj, nobody to rule like him. And Kali Yuga is approaching. He was the one who was like a dam, protecting the people from the forceful river of Kali. So, Nanu dveshti kalim samrat, someone is going to come and take our position. He was not envious of him or insecure. He was not feeling insecure. I am going to go anyway. This is the Bhagavatam message. Those who are Ksemadarshi and Goptari, they should always have this point in mind that I am going to go away. Somebody is going to come and I have to go. As long as we keep this thought in our mind always, we will be devotees. This is the most important. We can't just be, suppose I am serving in one place doesn't mean that I will be here forever. Any time Krishna can take us away. Overnight he can take us away. Right? Overnight he moved people from Mathura to Dwarka. All the people. How long it will take for him to move us? Right? So, this Nanu Dveshti Kalim Samrat, Parikshit Maharaj did not envy Kali because he is going to come and take his place away. What did he do? He saw the Saranga Iva Sara book. He saw the Saram. Saranga means devotees. He took the essence, means the good in that most horrible Kali also. What is that good thing? Kushalani Ashu Siddhyanti. People are going to be Mandaha Sumantamatiyo anyway in Kali Yuga. So we need some favorable situation for them to become devotees. We are not asked to go and sit in Himalayas and do tapas. We are sitting, we are saying we are doing devotional service, but the kind of prasadam that we eat, if outside people see us, that they will envy us. Man, you people are enjoying Chapan Bhog. Every day, other day you are having some festival, other day eat Chapan Bhog. This whole thing, Kushalani, Ashu Siddhyanti. You think of doing something good to others, you will get the benefit of that good, doing good. You don't have to physically do the good. This is the beauty of Kali Yuga. Simply, suppose I am thinking that, oh Prabhu, you will get increment in your next month in your job, in your jobs. They will give increment, salary increment. It may or may not happen for you. But by thinking, no, I will get the benefit of working for your increment. You may not get it, but I will get the benefit of that thinking. You understand? So this Kushalani means good. Ashu Siddhyanti, immediately you will get the benefit. Na itarani kritaniyat. If I want to slap somebody, I think I have to slap this person, I have to fire this person. Nothing will happen to me. No karma will get accrued. Only if I physically go and slap, I will get the karma. You see the difference? Simply by thinking of good, we get the benefit of doing good. But only after physically doing the bad thing, we get the effect of doing the bad thing. So what Parikshit Maharaj thought, people will by default, they will feel like this slapping. So if Kali comes, only when they actually slap, they will get the bad karma. So that is good. And they don't have any good thing to do in their life. They don't do any good. Simply I think of going to the temple, I get the benefit of going to the temple. This benefit has to get accrued. Not that, I immediately say. But the thing that we have to impress upon people, this point, is that our devotional service does not start when we come and stand in front of the Lord and pay obeisance. Our devotional service starts from the moment we start thinking in our home that I want to go to the temple. This is the greatest secret. We have to impress this upon the people. Only then they will start thinking at least. If I keep telling them only you come to the temple, you will reap the benefit, they will say, man, who want to come all the way to all the traffic? No. Then sometimes I may not be able to come even though I desire. Then what will happen? They will ask questions like this. No. The moment you start thinking, from that moment all the way up to you are driving the car, putting the petrol, coming the traffic, bringing someone else on the way, taking some fruits on the way for the Lord. Everything is included in your kshema, in your pious activity. So the question is so beautifully answered. He saw this good thing in that person, in Kali. He said that, okay, this good thing will enable people to come to devotional service. But from my end, what I should do? I should give this program of Bhagavatam, hearing Krishna Katha. In these 7 days, what I will do? I will show to the future generation that you please take to Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing Krishna Katha and chanting his glories. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanastam Namami Harim Param. So that is the best way to be peaceful in this life. What is that beautiful Bhagavad Gita shloka? Nasti buddhir ayuktasya nacha ayuktasya bhavana nacha bhavetaka shantir ashantasya kuta sukham. People are running after only these two things, shanti and sukham, peaceful and peace and happiness. But they don't know how to get it. Na asti buddhir ayuktasya. As long as we are disconnected from Krishna, there is no way we can develop shanti and sukha. Nachayuktasya bhavana, our bhav is also not connected. Then where will shanti come? Krishna is asking Arjuna, tell me now, you are asking me so many questions. No, I am asking you one question. Tell me where to get shanti if you are disconnected from me. This is what Parikshit Maharaj is giving us the answer. That Nanu Dveshti Kalim Samrat. He didn't even envy Kali. So this is how we should also be. See, Parikshit Maharaj, because he maintained that, did that greatest sacrifice. Today, after 5,000 years also, devotees are made by reading Bhagavatam. If he had decided, okay, my body is for next 100 years, I want to live and make devotees, what will happen? Those 100 years, some devotees might have been made, but then after that, they might have, like Yoga Nashta Parantapa. It would have happened. But because he looked at the greater cause and did a greater sacrifice to bring, just like Bhagirath brought Ganges from the spiritual world to the material world, same way Parikshit Maharaj by his tapa brought Srimad Bhagavatam from the spiritual world to, and Srila Prabhupada even more further from the Sanskrit of the Deva Bhasha to our Kali Yuga Bhasha. This is our English. And see what decoration he has done. Please remember this. Manasas keep up the standard of transcendental voluntary service on the spiritual plane. These 5 words, please remember. So beautiful. So this is the transcendental message that we should meditate on. And these 2 slokas, 1.4.12 and 1.18.7 and the 3.8.27, you can do it your personal reading. I'll stop here. Jaya Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Ananta Pati Vaishnavanda ki jai, Nitaya Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhyo Vacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha.